Misha, 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 Nichnas Adar. Misha, Misha, Nechdas, Misha, Nichnas Adar. Misha, Misha, Nichnas, Misha, Nichnas Adar. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Chag Purim Sameach. Yeah, okay. So, all of my Megillah readers know who they are, have their slips, have a Megillah packet to follow along in. Even if you're not a Megillah reader, you might want a packet to follow along in, or a song sheet, which I did not grab for myself, but are there more song sheets about? I would love. Thank you. Okay. So, and when we get to the Megillah reading, we've also got groggers up here. So we will start now our service with the song sheet, with Wicked, Wicked Man. Get us into the spirit of the holiday. Oh, once there was a wicked, wicked man, and Haman was his name, sir. He would have murdered all the Jews, though they were not to blame, sir. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and Nash some Hamantash, and Esther was the lovely queen of King Ahasuerus. When Haman said he'd kill us all, oh my, how he did scare us. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and Nash some Hamantashen. But Mordecai, her cousin bold, said, what a dreadful chutzpah. If guns were but invented now, this Haman I would shoot, sir. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and Nash some Hamantashen. The guest of honor he shall be, this clever Mr. Smarty, and high above us he shall swing at a little hanging party. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and Nash some Hamantashen. Of all his cruel and unkind ways, this little joke did cure him. And don't forget, we owe him thanks for this jolly feast of Purim. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and Nash some Hamantashen. With that joyful song, now we segue into Shabbat with our candle lighting. So I'd like to call up our Oneg families, Ellen and the Leventhals, to come light our candles and say the blessing, which can be found on page 120. Oh, it's, where's my little card? Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. And now we turn to Lecha Dodi on pages 138 and 139. We welcome in the Sabbath bride with this poem, and so when we reach verse 9, I invite you, if you're able, to rise and face the door and imagine Shabbat, the Sabbath, as a bride or a queen coming down the aisle, entering our sanctuary to join us for this beautiful next 24 hours. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet ve'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva orech kumi ori, uri, shir daberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha uvetzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. And now we've warmed up with some Purim songs. We lit our Shabbat candles, and we welcomed in the Sabbath bride. So we are ready to segue all the way back to page 263 for the Chatzi Kaddish and move into our evening service. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayechon uvyom echon uvchayetecho bet Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kariv ve'imeru amen yehesh meraba mevarach ve'alamul ame amaya yitbarach yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh v'yithadar v'yit'ale v'yitalal shemei tekudasha b'richu leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'imeru amen. And now we're going to go back to page 146. For the Baruch, please prepare yourselves for the call to worship. You may be seated, and we continue together in the English on page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzivaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Page 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. On pages 152 and 153 is the Shema, followed by the Ve'ahavta. I invite you to prepare yourselves for these words of Torah. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'chayu hadvarim ha'eleh Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Alevavecha Vishinantam Livanecha Vidibar Tabam Vishivtecha Bevetecha Uvlechtecha Vaderech Uvshachvecha Uvkumecha Ukshartam Leot Ayadecha Vihayuletotafot Beinenecha Uktab tam amzizot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'hiot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. You may be seated. Page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar bakodesh, no ratihilo do sefele. No ratihilo do sefele malechutecha ra'u vanecha bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam ze Elianu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed V'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai, ka'al Yisrael. Page 160. Okay. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. V'hamidenu, shomrenu l'chaim, ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha, v'tachmenu be'etzah tova milfanecha, v'hoshi'enu lema'an shemecha. Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu, shomrenu l'chaim, ushmor tzeitenu, uvo'enu l'chaim, u'l'shalom. Me'ata ve'ad olam, ve'ad olam, ufros aleinu sukat shelomecha, sukat shelomecha. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat. Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Page 162. Ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam. Ve'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We turn back to our song sheet. We just praised the day of Shabbat. Now let's praise a little bit that this is Shushan Purim. We will sing Ani Purim. Ani Purim, Sameach Umvadeach, Halo Rak Pa'am Bashana Avo Lehitraeach. Yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai. My name is Purim, and I come great fun and frolic bringing. Just once a year I visit you to cheer you with my singing. Yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai. Hurrah Purim, we love your merry drumming. And if we had our way, Purim, each month you would be coming. Yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai, yai-dai-dai-dai. And now we turn to the central portion of our evening prayer. The Amidah begins on page 164 and continues over the next few pages. I invite you to prepare yourself for these blessings. Adonai sefatai tita upia giteni latecha. Eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Mekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot v'Imachol, Umeimid Uva Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'amava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Umanim, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol, Atah Rav L'Moshiach, Mashiv HaRuach Umorid HaGashem, Mechakel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh Hakol Be'rachim Rachim. So b'chol yom hallelujah selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated, and we continue together on page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Page 175. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answers to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yir'ah na'avod. Page 176. We acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and the God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives and the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one whose mercies never end, O compassionate one whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you. You're going to want to keep your finger on that page while we flip to page 557. We thank you also for the miracles, for the redemption, for the mighty deeds and saving acts brought about by you, and for the wars which you waged for our ancestors in the days of old at this season. In the days of Mordecai and Esther, the wicked Haman arose in Persia, plotting the destruction of all the Jews. He planned to destroy them in a single day, the 13th of Adar, and to permit the plunder of their possessions. But through your great mercy, his plan was thwarted, his scheme frustrated. We therefore thank and bless you, O gracious God. Turn back to 176. For all these things, O sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. Page 178. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki atahu melech Adon b'chol hashalom. Tov beinecha livarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol eit uv'chol sha'a bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Baruch atah Adonai, u'mevarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. We take a moment now for silent prayer. You might use the words on pages 180 and 181 or the meditations of your own heart. La Yehudim hayta ora, lesimcha lesason vikar. La Yehudim hayta ora, lesason besimcha vikar. Ken teye lanu, The Jews had light and happiness and joy, and so may we. We turn our thoughts now to those in our community who are ill and in need of healing. On our list this week is Ricky Grant, Mary Kennedy, Edith and Norman King, Skip, Kathy and Jeffrey Brace, Denise Logan, Ruth Brenner, John Poor, Rosalind Cantu, Karen Thompson, Dean Atchley, Sharon Buell, Jean Walker, Louis Perlman, Eileen Milner, Mike Haug, Bill Brooks, Brianna Campbell, Josiah Pendleton, Denise Smith, Lori Perry, Scott Platts, Dave Avery, Bob Sparkman, Gail Garifo, Cheryl Manny Ho, Seal Honig, Wendy Labanow, Benjamin Hartman, Scott King, Donna Thatcher, Chegg King, Debbie and Paul Nicely, McKenna Heiss, Bob Katz, Nick Joliot, Rebecca Barnes, Steve and Marion Renard, Bernard Strassner, Eddie Milgram, Robin Cohen, Ethan Cantwell, Pam Dabbs, Brian Snyder, Mark Hummel, and Miriam Levy. If anyone else has a name they'd like to share at this time. The Misha Berach is in the middle of page 371, and we hold in our thoughts all those in need of healing of mind, body, and spirit. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Ve'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing, with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We also pray for the health and safety of all those in our community who are active military duty, first responders, and peacekeepers, those around the world whose jobs are dangerous so that our lives might not be. We have on that list Oni Hinnanen, Joshua Ehrlichman, Martin Brown, Richard Rubino, Howard Mergler, Kyle Smet, Andrew Booth, Joseph Cald, Daniel and Bridget Stambowski, many members of the Nemero family, Pete Abelson, Jeremy Sharkey, Benjamin Hurd, Alexander Furman, Daniel Gilman, Curtis Miller, Rob Apgar, Ben Farrell, Caleb Menzies, Francis Petraka, and Noah Kaplan, and if any, and all of those in the armed services and on the ships at sea that tune in and watch us from our live stream. May the one who blessed our fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our mothers Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel, bless those who are serving in our armed services. May God guard them and keep them from harm. If they find themselves in danger's path, may God bring them back, whole of mind and body, to all those who love them. May it be your will, Adonai Tsevaot, to lead them to safety and to protect them from each and every enemy and ambush. May God make their journey successful and guard their going out and coming in with mercy and love, and let them be blessed to return home with life and peace, now and forever. And let us say, okay, now we are ready to turn toward our Megillah reading. So I'm going to close that for now. So I'd like to call on deck my Megillah holder assistant and our first few readers. So that should be Juliet, Lauren Carter, Rhoda, Allie, and Gabby to be ready to go. What? Oh, yes. Okay, also, if you want a grogger, this is a good time to come grab one. They're up here. Please come grab a grogger. If you don't have a Megillah packet and you want to follow along, there's some more still here. Also, I noticed that we are missing 2 of our readers. So if anyone wants a spontaneous reading, you can come and be on deck too, and I'll let you know which reading is yours when it comes up. What? Okay, let's see. Oh, it rolled the wrong page. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, then here. All right, great. It sounds like everyone's got a grogger. Very important. And my readers are on deck. Okay. And when I go like, let's do a practice run. Okay, ready? Hold on. Hold your groggers for a moment. Everybody hold your groggers for a moment. We're going to do a practice run. So when I say the word, hey, man. And then I go, what? No, and when I go like this, that means it's time to stop so we can go on with the reading. Let's try that again. Haman. Okay, and what if someone pronounces it Haman? Okay, great. I think we've got it. So, all right, we're going to start with the blessing. Let's say it together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mikrei Megillah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavotenu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. And Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'hechianu v'kiyamanu v'hegianu lasman hazeh.
It happened in the days of Ahasuerus that Ahasuerus, who reigned over 127 provinces from India to Ethiopia. In those days, when King Ahasuerus occupied the royal throne in the fortress Shushan, in the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a banquet for all the officials and courtiers, the administration of Persia and Media, the nobles and the governors of the provinces in his service. For no fewer than 180 days, he displayed the vast riches of his kingdom and the splendid glory of his majesty.
Hamalech Achashverosh al Kisei Melchuto Asher b'Shushan Habira Bishnat Shalosh Lemalcho Aseh Mishte Lechol Sarah Ve'avada Pel Haras Umadai Hapartanim V'Sarai HaMedinot Lepanav Behar Oto, et Osher, Kevod Malchuto, ve'et Yikar, Tiferet, Gedulato, Yamim Rabim, Shmonim Ume'at Yom.
At the end of this period, the king threw a huge 7-day party for all the people of Shushan, from the members of his household to the ditch diggers. Wine was served in abundance. The rule for drinking was no rules. When King Ahasuerus was good and drunk, he called for his servants to bring forth beautiful Queen Vashti wearing the royal diadem.
But Vashti was busy throwing her own party for all the women of Shushan, and she declined the request. So it was decreed that Vashti should never come before the king again, and that she should no longer be queen, lest she influence other women to defy their husbands.
But after some King Ahasuerus missed having a queen, so he called for beautiful maidens of the kingdom to be brought to him, and these maidens complied. Unlike Vashti, young women for all over the kingdom came for the chance to find favor with the king. Among them, Hadassah, who introduced herself as Esther, had been brought to the palace by her foster father. A cousin named Mordecai had instructed Hadassah not to tell anyone of her family and heritage. That is, they were Jews, great-grandchildren of one of the Israelites brought out by the exile of Babylon.
The next on deck, we should have Michelle, Alex, Mary, and Ethan H. ready for the next few readers.
A little bit taller, huh? When it was Esther's turn to come before the king, he fell in love with her at once and put the royal diadem on her head, declaring her queen instead of Vashti. Esther continued to keep her true identity secret, which meant cousin Morty didn't get the invite to her coronation. While he was outside gate crashing Esther's party, Mordecai overheard two guards plotting to kill King Ahasuerus. Mordecai told Esther, who reported it to the head of the guard staff. The treasonous guards were executed, and the matter was recorded in the Book of Annals.
Meanwhile, King Ahasuerus promoted one of his local advisors, Haman, he placed Haman over all the rest of the council and commanded the courtiers at the gate to bow to Haman. Whenever Haman was entering or exiting the palace, Mordecai would still creep around the palace hoping to get a chance to talk to Esther. But when Haman walked by Mordecai, my bad. Mordecai would not bow. When he asked why, Mordecai said simply because he is a Jew.
This enraged Haman. Who then decided genocide was the only reasonable course of action to deal with this pesky Jew who would not bow down. He cast lots, or Purim, to decide on the date on which he would hang Mordecai, and began his plan of ethnic cleansing. The lots fell on the 13th of Adar. Do I keep going? No. Okay.
Haman told King Ahasuerus of his plan to kill all the Jews throughout the kingdom, from India to Ethiopia. And King Ahasuerus said, "Do you want? You gotta do, bruh." And gave Haman his signet ring to seal the edict.
All right, our next few readers up are Jake, Preston, and Heidi, and Adam.
The message was sent to every corner of the kingdom, to each in their own language, signed in the name of the king and sealed with the signet. On the 13th of Adar, all couriers in every province should seek out and kill their local Jews. Once the message was sent out, King Ahasuerus and Haman feasted again. The people of Shushan sure like their parties.
When Mordecai heard about the edict, He tore his clothes and put on sackcloth and ashes, crying through the city streets up to the palace gate, his favorite place to loiter. All the Jews throughout the kingdom did similarly, except for Esther. When she heard about the whole situation, she sent clothing for Mordecai to put, and so he might stop his incessant wailing and embarrassing her. Of course he refused. He kept wailing and wearing his mourning right outside the palace gate. When one of Esther's guards came out to ask him what it would take him to shut him up, he said for Esther to tell King Ahasuerus the truth about her family and heritage, and asked him to stop this edict. Esther replied to the message.
All of the king's courtiers and the people of the king's provinces know that if any person, man or woman, enters the king's presence in the inner court without having been summoned, there is but one law for him, that he be put to death. Only if the king extends the golden scepter to him may he stay alive, or may he live. Now I have not been summoned to visit the king for the last 30 days. When Mordecai was told what Esther had said, Mordecai had this message delivered to Esther.
Do not imagine that you, of all the Jews, will escape with your life by being in the kingdom. You have attained to royal position for such just a crisis. Then Esther sent back this answer to Mordecai. Go assemble all the Jews who live in Shushan, and fast in my behalf. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my maidens will observe the same fast. Then I shall go to the king, though it is contrary to the law, and if I am to perish, I shall perish. So Mordecai went about the city and did as Esther had commanded him.
Asher lo tikare al hatato v'hani dover asher yoshvit lo hamelech et sharvit hazahav v'chaya ve'ani lo nikreti lavo el hamelech ze 30 yom vayagidu leMordecai et divrei Esther. Vayomer Mordecai l'hashir el Esther al tidani v'nafsheh v'hamilet beit hamelech v'kol haYehudim haperosh taharishi be'et hazot reva v'hatzala ya'amor laYehudim minakom echad ve'et ubeit avicha tovedu u'miyodzeya et hazot mika'at v'malchut v'atomer Esther v'hashir al Mordecai kanos el kol haYehudim הנמצאים בשושן וצילמו עליי ואל תאכלו ואל תשתו 3 ימים לילה ויום גם אני ראיתי עצום ובכן אבוא אל המלך אשר לא חדש וכאשר עבדתי ויעבור מרדכי ויעש ככל אשר ציווה Ethan C., Mary, Kay, Eileen, and Terry.
3 days later, Esther put on her royal finery and approached the king's throne room. As soon as he saw her, he executed his scepter towards her.
She entered into the room, touching the scepter's tip as she bowed before the king. King Ahasuerus, surprised that she had come to him unbidden, was none the less pleased and offered her half of his kingdom.
Instead, Esther said she only wanted to ask him if he was free to come to this wild party she wanted to throw for him and Haman. The king agreed and told Haman to clear his schedule. Haman is psyched to be invited to this super exclusive party thrown by the queen. But nothing would ever really make him happy as long as Mordecai the Jew is still wandering around the palace gates.
Is there someone in between?
Yeah. Eileen, do you have your...
Haman's wife. I forgot already. Zara suggested Haman have a stake put up for Mordecai to be impaled on in the morning, and then he could feel more free to enjoy himself at the party in the evening. Haman liked this plan and had the stake put up, planning to ask King Ahasuerus for permission to publicly execute Mordecai in the morning over omelets.
But that night the king couldn't sleep, so he asked for the book of annals to be brought to him, because meeting minutes are really boring, and this would surely put him to sleep. He discovered the plot of the guards who wanted to kill him, and learned that Mordecai had thwarted the plan, all without King Ahasuerus ever even knowing. He wanted to honor Mordecai, but wasn't sure how. So he asked his trusty advisor Haman, who also happened to be wandering in the palace in the middle of the night, "What should I do to show honor to a man who truly deserves it?" Haman, thinking the king must surely mean him, told the king all the things he would want: to wear the royal robes and crown, to be led through the streets on the king's horse, so that all may see his glory.
Next on deck, we've got Sophia, and then I believe Lauren, Kay, and Ethan. Does that match what you got? No? Okay, well, Sophia's going to read, and then whoever has the paragraph that says evening came, I hope you Yeah, okay.
The king said, "Great. Will you please bring my crown and robes to Mordecai the Jew and lead him around Shushan on my horse yourself?" So the next morning, instead of impaling Mordecai, Haman was instead leading him around like a prince to his own total humiliation. When Haman got home that day after such an upsetting experience, his wife Zeresh said to him, "If Mordecai, before whom you have begun to fall, is of Jewish stock, you will not overcome him. You will fall before him to your ruin."
Evening came, and so did Esther's banquet. The king asked her again what she desired. Whatever it was, even half the kingdom, she could have it. She told King Ahasuerus that all she wanted was her life. So she revealed that it was Haman who plotted to kill her, for she was a Jew. King Ahasuerus was so overcome with emotion that he fled to the room to get some fresh air.
Okay, right. So then Aaron, Jack, Debbie, and David should be on deck next, yeah?
When he returned, Haman was prostrated in front of Esther, presumably to beg for forgiveness. But to King Ahasuerus, it looked like Haman was trying to ravish Queen Esther. And in a flash, the executioner's hood was over Haman's face. He was impaled that very night on his own stake built for Mordecai.
The next day, the king decreed that Esther shall inherit everything that belonged to Haman. And he gave Mordecai his rings. Now that Esther had revealed their kingship.
They reminded King Ahasuerus that his edict was still out in all the other provinces. And just because Haman was dead now didn't mean that they or any other Jews were safe yet. So the king gave money and arms to all the Jews in all the provinces in his kingdom and issued a second edict that they may fight to defend themselves.
And so, on the 13th of Adar, the Jews in Shushan killed Zeresh and all 10 sons of Haman. And Jews around the provinces of Persia and Media killed thousands of enemies, and they were safe. The Jews enjoyed light, gladness, happiness, and honor. Jews in Shushan fought for an extra day to ensure that all their enemies were slain, and they feasted and rested on the 15th, while the rest of the Jews in unwalled towns made their holiday on the 14th. These events were recorded by Mordecai and decreed by Esther as an official cause to celebrate, thus establishing the holiday of Purim for the Jewish people.
And the king Ahasuerus laid a tribute upon the land and upon the islands of the sea, and all the acts of his power and of his might, and the declaration of the greatness of Mordecai, to which the king advanced him. Are they not within the book of Chronicles of the king of Media and Persia? For Mordecai the Jew was next to King Ahasuerus, and among the Jews, and accepted by the multitude of his brothers, seeking the good of his people and speaking peace to all his seed.
And we're going to read the closing blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam harav et rivenu v'hadan et dinenu v'hanokem et nikmetenu v'hamashalem g'mul l'chol oyevei nafshenu v'hanifra lanu mitzarenu Baruch atah Adonai hanivra le'amo Yisrael mikol tzarehem ve'el hamoshiach. And let's give one big yasher koach for all of our readers, especially the understudies who came up tonight having never seen their pieces before, and our Vanna of the evening who helped me with the scroll. Yasher koach! Yeah, and give a little celebratory grogger spin. And okay. So, although tonight we are continuing our festive celebrations of the wonderful holiday of Purim, and so we read Megillah instead of Torah, we don't want to lose track of our Parshat HaShavua. So this week, the Torah portion is Parshat Tzav. In this week's Torah portion, the priest's duties, rights, and clothing are explained in great detail. It culminates with Aaron and his son camping out in the Mishkan compound for a week for their ordination process. And among the directions in the Parsha for what they will do after that week is over, there is an eternal flame on the altar. Do not let it go out. And in the context of the Torah, this is literal. These are directions for the priests. Keep that fire burning for the sacrifices. Very physical. But the metaphor of keeping the fire inside you burning, inside your soul, also resonates, for me especially, with my favorite line in all of the Megillat Esther, when Mordechai says to Esther, "Do not imagine that you of all Jews will escape with your life by being in the king's palace. On the contrary, if you keep silent in this crisis, relief and deliverance will come from another place, and your name will be forgotten. And who knows, perhaps you have come to be in the position of royalty for exactly such a time as this." So each of us has our moment to shine, the opening at which we find our gifts, our talents, our privileges, power, positions, connections, whatever it is, are exactly what is needed in a precise moment to help people we care about, to save a situation from disaster, to boost up an issue we are concerned about. And we must keep the fires of our passions burning so that we have the momentum, so that we are ready to move when that moment comes. When we see that it is our turn to swoop in and save the day. So may each of you find yourselves with the burning fire of holy purpose to offer the sacrifice of your time and help those in need at just such a time as this. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Chag Purim Sameach. And we're going to sing Chag Purim back to your song sheets. And so when we say Rash, 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 that literally means noise. Noise, noise, noise. So you want to swing your grogger in rhythm during the chorus. But maybe only during the chorus so that we can follow along with the Hebrew that is real words too. Chag Purim, Chag Purim, Chag Gadol HaYehudim, Masechot Rashanim, Shirim Barukudim. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Bara Ashanim. Chag Purim, Ze'el Zesholchim Manot. Machmadim, Mamtakim, Tanufim Migdanot. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Havanarisha, Rash, Rash, Rash. Bara Ashanim. And now we turn toward our concluding prayer. So I'd like to invite back up our Oneg families, Ellen and the Leventhal's, to open the Ark for Aleinu, which can be found on page 586. And if everyone else would please rise for Aleinu, or prepare yourself for the Ark to be opened, however that feels comfortable. You may be seated. We turn our thoughts now to those who are no longer with us in body, but remain with us in spirit. This week marks a yahrzeit, an anniversary of death, for Arthur Miller, David Krasnow, Lois Ann Markowitz, Sylvia Reback, and Amanda Chazen. And we are still within the year of mourning for Bernice Strassner, Peter Winkler, John Jenkins, Tony Jerez, Pat Burton, Alexandra Haley, Irving Younger, Melvin Wax, Bernice and Sylvan Simon, Cecil and David Rosenthal, Jerry Rabinowitz, Rose Mallinger, Richard Gottfried, Joyce Feinberg, Daniel Stein, Betsy Klarman, Jeannie Grissom, Lee McCoy, Ivy Bells, Renee Adler-Kaplan, Norman Rosen, Tom Metzler, Rodney Smith, and Diane King. If anyone else has a name they'd like to share at this time, please do so. Hold in our thoughts all those we miss. The Mourner's Cottage is on page 598. Mourners and those who wish to join them may rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra pirutei v'amlif malchutei, ve'chayechon u'yom echon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. Yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shmei v'kudashah b'richu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'mromah. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. You may be seated. Oseh shalom v'mromah. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. You are planning to join us again tomorrow night for our Purim party at 6 o'clock, our Mad Hatters Purim party. Please check in with Julian if you have not yet RSVP'd but do want to come. Is it too late to put in a song request for lip sync as well? Okay, so especially if you want to be a part of the lip sync battle, make sure you get her song to her tonight. Then Sunday during religious school is our Purim Carnival. Parents are very much encouraged to stay or come back at 11 so that when we let them loose with all the commentation and games and such, we have some controlled chaos with more adults in the room. And Adult Ed will have its final session on Ezra and Nehemiah also on Sunday. Are we drowning out Nehemiah's name now too? But so even if you haven't come so far, you're welcome to still come as we wrap up the book. We've been talking a lot about historical context and things beyond just the text itself. So even if you haven't read it up till this point, you'll probably still enjoy our conversation. So that's Sunday at 1. And then next week, am I forgetting something, Jillian? Okay. Next week, pre-Shabbat sing-along at 6:30, services at 7:30, and I think that's the main stuff coming up right now. What am I forgetting?
I just want to add into this, when we do the permanent tomorrow, we have a wide array of raffles and sign-up items. The sign-up items may be very precious, so, or sorry, I should say. So I just want to let you know, there are some really awesome items. So we will be sending cash checks to the card tomorrow, because of some of the items in the ground. So just want to give you guys a heads up in this. I'm really excited about the things that we have this year. And I'm hearing some really good battles, things that are going to happen. Don't do it great. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I did also, even though we are very focused on Purim right now, Passover is not that far off, and the religious school is collecting some like sort of recyclable or home good items for our crafts for our Passover activities in a couple weeks. So as you use up your paper towels, bring the rolls for us. If you have shoe boxes, if you eat oatmeal and you have like those cylindrical cardboard boxes, we need some of those. There's a box out there with a whole list of things. So as you find yourself disposing of them, dispose of them into that box. And Betty, what else?
The box that the robbers came in is on the floor behind that. So on your way out, just drop it and leave the box there.
And yes, please put your groggers back and put your Megillah packets and song sheets back up here so that we can recycle them, reuse them for next year. Yes, I will be participating in the lip sync battle in theme with my costume. Okay, wait, before we go to Oneg, we do have a closing song. Special request from the religious school. 625, Adon Olam. Recall our opening song. Yes, okay, thank you. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'Terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li Eit Nesava Chetza Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Behu Haya Behu Hove Behu Yeh Betifara Behu Echad Ve'ein Sheni Behamshil Lo Lehachbira Beli Reshit Beli Tachlit Beloha Oz Misra, Behu Eli Bechai Goali, Bitzor Chabli Beitzara, Behu Nisi Umanosli, Menat Kosi Beyom Ekra, Beyado Afkid Ruchi, Beit Ishan Ve'aira, Be'im Ruchi Geviati, Adonai Li Velo Ira. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and Nash some Hamantashin. We'll say the blessing for the Hamantashin before we Nasha, but let's go to Oneg. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.